These days, I feel like the only conversations involving the Milwaukee Bucks revolve around Bronny James being compared to Giannis' talentless brother. Nepotism in LA and nepotism in Milwaukee. Your typical, Instagram start bench cut. And you got those two and, LiAngelo Ball, Mr. Theft. That is the only topics that I see involving the Bucks. There is nothing about can they win an NBA championship. And right now, the Bucks, according to DraftKings, are the 8th most likely team to win the ring this year. To me, that is absolutely wild. And I just think people have forgotten. Giannis is arguably the best player in the NBA. I mean, if there's anybody that has resembled, prime Shaquille O'Neal in this NBA, it's Giannis. Dude's literally a walking 30 and 12, has improved his passing, and is an all-NBA type defender. And then there's Damian Lillard. Yeah, he wasn't great this year to his standards. Down year, I think he shot about 42% from the field. But there was injuries and there was getting acclimated. I think there was a chemistry issue just, with two alpha-type dudes coming together. And sometimes that takes a year to kind of figure out. I mean, look at the LeBron James Miami Heat. That first year, there was a lot of pushback. But then they figured it out. And not to say right now, the Bucks are the favorites in the East. That is obviously the Celtics. But I think the Bucks are legitimately number 2 or 3. It's either the Bucks or the 76ers. And then you got the Knicks. It's just crazy to me how quickly fans and the media and players turn from a team. The Bucks last year suffered so much injuries. Then they had the coaching turnover. Obviously, they weren't going to perform to expectations. Giannis got hurt. He had the calf issue. Same with Dame. For whatever reason, it was a big year for the calf. And then you go from Adrian Griffin to Doc Rivers, which was, kind of a weird move. But Doc is still a good coach. He's not a great coach, and I know we all joke and talk about the continuous blown leads, but I do think some of those do deserve their proper context. I mean, Doc did have Harden and Embiid and Chris Paul. 3 legit failures as his stars. So who really was to blame? Players play at the end of the day. I mean, putting a lot of value on a coach I think is kind of ridiculous. If a championship team is the Beatles, the coach is Ringo Starr. It can ruin things, but it's not really going to elevate. It's a drummer at the end of the day. Giannis is Lennon and Damian Lillard's McCartney. And Chris Middleton honestly had shown shades of sort of his old self. Yeah, he's not getting any younger, but we're really just talking about this upcoming season. A year where it's anybody's game. Boston right now is the clear favorites, but the past few years we've all assumed that the defending champ was just going to run through everybody, and that just wasn't the case. Chemistry is huge. And how roles sort of develop there, after winning a championship is worth noting. But I think for the Bucks, it's kind of perfect. A perfect opportunity to sort of sneak back into the relevance. Because they were a 3 seed when they won it all. Nobody thought that Giannis could do it. I mean, they got him Drew Holiday, got rid of Eric Bledsoe. But people still thought that he was kind of a, second round exit merchant until he wasn't. Until he had 40 and 10 in game 6. He's a champion. He's a generational player, whether you like it or not. But he's still so dominant. Dude can literally take over a game himself. I'm not saying that I think they're the number 1 team to win a championship this year. It's obviously the Celtics, then probably Denver in my opinion. But I think Milwaukee is 3 or 4, tied with OKC in whatever order. Because all 4 of these teams have superstars. Giannis is a superstar. And all 4 teams have a very good second option to back that has proven to be clutch. Damian Lillard is clutch. He might have the defense of Steve Nash, but he, is a guy that I would want taking a final shot. So let's see. I think year 2 is going to be very fascinating for the Bucks. Like, I'm excited to see how they can respond, because all it's been is negativity and Thanasis just clapping on the bench. Let's see what Giannis, the real brother with the real talent, does.